things other than water. And by the way, we don't just call that water in chemistry. What do we call that? Solvent. And of course, the universal solvent on the planet is
water.
Right. Okay. So we've got solvents and solutes. Everybody see that? Okay. Do you agree we're talking about osmosis and the movement of a solvent from an area of high to low concentration across a semi-permeable membrane? Do you see that bag that's in there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that the bag is not going to let the salt move across, but it's going to let water move across? Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So we've set up the perfect definition of a semi-permeable membrane and the movement of water. I think everybody in this room knows that water is going to move into this bag if there's salt in here, until finally there's going to be equilibrium. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
So now we have to start thinking about three words, and you probably already know them if you've known how to biology class before, right? Isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic. You guys have heard these terms before?
Yes.
Okay, if not, you'll be seeing them on this next exam. Okay? So isotonic, and what we're talking about here, by the way, we're talking about, when we say hypo, we're always referring to the solute or salt. If you just always think of salt, that's a nice way to learn this. I'm always thinking about the amount of salt. So let's stick with isotonic first. So do you agree that the salts, the electrolytes, if you will, the things that are found on the inside of the cell and the solutes that are found on the outside of the cell are the same? That's why water moves across freely, and there is already equilibrium here, right? Okay. If I take you and I throw you into the ocean, are you in an isotonic? Hypotonic, and before we answer this question, when we say hypotonic, it means we have very little salt out here. Hypertonic, a lot of salt out here. If I throw you into the ocean, am I throwing you into which one of these environments? Hypertonic solution. There's more salt in the ocean than the concentration of salt that's found in your tissues and in your bloodstream, right? So here you are floating in a life raft, right? You're stuck with you and your best friend. Your friend says, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. And they take a cup and they start drinking salt water. And you tell them, I wouldn't do that if I were you because you're going to die. And they say, screw you. I'm thirsty and I'm floating in the ocean, for Christ's sakes. Why don't you tell me, somebody offer up an explanation as to what's going to happen to that person?
The water's more than their salt.
They're going to become more dehydrated. Why?
Because the water in the body is going to try to deconcentrate the salt that is contained.
You're absolutely right. High concentration of salt in the intestinal lumen is going to draw water out of the tissues. And when they go to the bathroom, they're losing all that water, and you've got to keep it. Right? Okay. So when we talk about hypo and hyper, referring to